thank you so much for stopping by and visiting with me today on Stella Ruth. So what are we doing today in Stella Ruth? I am so excited. Why? Because the recipe that I'm going to share with you today is one of my absolute favorite recipes. I absolutely adore shrimp, especially shrimp. I like shellfish as a whole. If it's in a shell, I really like it. But shrimp is my absolute favorite. And so I am going to share with you today a recipe that I like to call a warm balsamic shrimp salad. I promise you, you're going to absolutely love it. So instead of us talking about it, let's be about it. How about we get on over there in the kitchen and see what's going on. All right, darlings, forgive my camera shot. I'm trying to kind of get it together here. Hopefully you can see everything. So to get started with this, first we have our shrimp that we've already washed. We've already cleaned it. We've already shelled it, deveined it, cleaned it. And you see how huge these are? These are huge shrimp. And that's because I got these big jumbo where they're actually almost like prongs on sale. So I've already taken everything off. They're so big they almost look like little lobster tails, you know. So before we get started, we're going to take our shrimp, and here's just a quick marinade that I made with some crushed sweet red pepper and some coriander and rosemary, some little olive oil and white wine vinegar. I'm going to take my shrimp and just drop it down in the marinade and let it sit for about 5-10 minutes while we prepare everything else. And the reason I'm doing that is because sometimes when the shrimp are large, it's hard to get them seasoned the way you want them seasoned. So you put them in a marinade for a few minutes, and then it soaks up all those good seasonings and flavors. And it has a little sea salt and pepper and all that in it. So we're good there. Okay, now I'm gonna rinse my hands here. Sorry for the noise, but I had to wash my hands off right quick. And I'm gonna put this plate over to the side in the sink to be washed, and then I'm gonna set this bowl of shrimp sitting in the marinade to the side. Okay, is get started on our stuff that's gonna go in our warm balsamic vinaigrette that we're gonna make. So first I'm gonna cut a shallot. Have one shallot, you can use two. The shallots, I love shallots because they're kind of like onions. They grow like in clusters, like garlic, but it's actually more along the lines of the onion family. Okay, so I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna peel the skin off just like I would an onion. But the thing I love about shallots is because they don't really have much of an oniony taste. They kind of have it's got a little hint of the onion taste, but they're kind of sweet, have a little sweet taste to them, so they give things a really good flavor. Okay, so I'll cut that end off there, and then I'm just gonna slice it up, because when we go over to the stove to make our warm balsamic vinaigrette, we want to give it as much flavor as possible, and shallots are great for that. Now you could put roasted garlic in here, or just some chopped garlic, but I didn't want to overpower the flavors that are going to be floating around in the shrimp. So I'm just going to use just shallots today. Okay, now I've sliced them up, and then I'm just going to break them up so that, you know, we get these little ringlets here. All right, so we're going to finish doing that, and then we're going to move on to chopping up and getting our bottom part of the salad ready while we're letting the shrimp kind of marinate a little bit. All right, so now we're going to start working on our bottom part of our salad, just because I want to already have that ready. So I'm going to take a half of a cucumber and just kind of slice it up. Cut it in half, and cucumber always gives stuff a nice little fresh taste and crunch. So, and this salad is pretty simple, but I promise you, you're going to love it when it's all done. And so I'm gonna slide that over to the side, and then I have some Bib lettuce. And if you watched the other video, my crispy eggplant video, you saw me use bib lettuce as a bed for the eggplant, but I'm just gonna break some of it off and use it as my green for my salad. Okay, so I have my little bib lettuce here. Sorry. And I'm just gonna take it and take all those little leaves that I put together, roll them up, and just cut them and slice them a little bit. Give myself a little easier crunch power here. I say that because sometimes when you have big, huge pieces of lettuce, oh my God, it's so difficult when you're eating a salad. You folding it all up on the fork, trying to eat it, trying not to look like a pig when you're eating. And then I have some cherry tomatoes. And I'm just going to use a few because I like cherry tomatoes, but again, I'm trying not to take too much away from the flavor of the shrimp. So I'm going to cut them in quarters, my cherry tomatoes. I love these Hampton Forge knives because, you know, usually when you're cutting up tomatoes, it's just really better to use a serrated knife to cut tomatoes. But these Hampton Forge knives cut through everything. I love them. They're not that expensive. They're not expensive at all. Very good knives. Really sharp. You can get them at Walmart for like 10 bucks. I got a set for, I think, like $14. So, all right. So we have most of our little salad stuff ready. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of this in a bowl and mix it around so that I can have it ready to put on the plate. And then we'll be right back. Now I've wiped my cutting board down, and I have some half of a red pepper and a little piece of a yellow pepper, bell pepper. And what I did was I put it on a grill pan that I have to try to give it a little bit of a grill mark and just make it a little warm for my salad. So I'm just going to slice those because that's part of the salad, and then we're going to put this on a plate by itself. So when we build our salad and dress it up, it's going to be nice and pretty. So pretty you don't want to eat it. No, I'm just kidding. So pretty. It's pretty, but doesn't make me not want to eat. Yeah. Okay, so I have this all sliced. And I usually, when I slice them long ways, I still go ahead and cut mine into little smaller pieces just to make it easier to chew. You can leave them long if you like. But when I put my salad on a fork, I like all my stuff bite-sized, so I'm not looking very uncouth when I'm trying to eat it, you know. All right, so we're going to put this on a plate, and then we're going to head over to the stove so we can start on our shrimp and then our warm balsamic dressing. So now we're going to do our shrimp first because it cooks the fastest, and I want that vinaigrette to be nice and warm when we put it on top of our salad. I'm using the same pan that I grilled my peppers on, so that's why we have little seeds at the bottom. I don't mind integrating those flavors. So we're going to start. I have my fire on medium high, and then we're going to start by just laying our shrimp down on the grill pan. You can do this in a regular pan, but I like the grill marks. That's just me. So what I'm doing is taking it out of the marinade and putting it down into the pan. Now, I'm not putting any more seasoning on it because the marinade does the job, okay? So I'm not putting any sea salt, no pepper, anything like that. Just shaking off as much as the marinade as possible. And you see those nice coriander seeds. Coriander seeds give things beautiful flavor. They have really good oils in them, and so they create good oils when you're cooking. Now keep in mind, like I said, that shrimp, you only need to cook it about 3 minutes on each side because it doesn't take long at all. So we're just letting that grill. We're gonna finish this up, and we should be done here pretty soon, and then we're going to move on to our next step. And you want to make sure that it gets pink on the outsides, and then you still want to make sure these are large, so it may take a little longer than 3 minutes on each side. and they were deveined already, so they're split open. So I'm gonna make sure you're turning them over and laying them on the inside so that that part can cook. See how they curled up, and I'm just laying them like that. And the good thing about large shrimp like this, it's got a sweetness to it that is lovely. All right, so we're gonna let these cook. Give you an idea of what those shrimp look like when they're done. They are absolutely good. It smells so good. But you see how they curled up nicely right there. Nice and pink, a little bit of brown, but not too much. All righty, on to the next step. Alright guys, so now we're going to get started on our warm balsamic vinaigrette. And I know you're saying, warm balsamic? Oh, just trust me, you're going to see it, you're going to love it. It's going to be awesome. So we have our heat on medium high, sprayed it with a little cooking spray. We're going to put our shallots, I'm sorry, listen to me. Shallots in the bottom of the pan so that they can start sauteing. Get us a little spoon here to move them around. And yes, I'm using a different spoon. Can you believe it? So we want them to move around and wilt down and get nice and golden and beautiful. And they smell good already. All right, now in here, now we're going to put, now that we have them kind of sauteed down, if you can see inside my little bowl, I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I have 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of fennel powder, and 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. And so we're going to put all of that in there together. Sorry. And then we're going to mix that around. I know it seems like it might be smoking, but it's not. So we're going to turn our fire down a little bit, down to medium, because we put that brown sugar in. And even though it's a little bit, we want it to get nice and glossy. You know, we don't want it to burn. Okay, so now we're going to put in our balsamic vinaigrette. I know, it looks kind of crazy from here. See that smoke, guys? It's creating. That'll go away in a minute. I promise you, I'm not burning it. And that's only about 1/4 cup. Okay? To 1/3. Somewhere between 1/4 and 1/3. Depending on how much vinegar or how much of a tang you like in yours. So, about 1/4 cup to 1/3. We're putting in there. And we're stirring that around. All right. Smell good already. We're going to take a little water and pour in just a little bit of about 1/4 cup. And you can add water according to what you think you're going to need. Lord, I'm making a mess, but that's okay. And then we're going to add 1/3 cup of canola oil, guys. I'm using canola oil today because it burns better. It burns better when you're doing a warm vinaigrette. Just 1/3 cup. Just stir that around some. And then let it simmer for just a couple of minutes. Now, we're just going to let it simmer just a little bit. You're letting it simmer because you want all of those seasonings you put in to cook down, melt down. You don't want it to be gritty. You want it to be nice and smooth. Just like when you put sugar or something like that in your tea. Yeah, your tea is warm when you're doing it because you want that sugar to kind of mix in really well and go away. Now I'm going to put a pinch of dry rosemary in here. And then we're going to let that simmer couple more minutes, and it'll be ready to go. All right, so we let it simmer for about 3 or 4 minutes, and it's ready to go. So we're gonna put it in a measuring cup so we can pour it over our salad. And now we're gonna go over to the table and build our salad. Alrighty, so now it's just time to build this salad, which is going to be beautiful. Let me see if I can get a better look here. There we go. Now, first thing we're gonna do, sorry about that, I should have had one. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put our roasted peppers that we did on top and around. Just make it look nice and pretty. Okay, and then we're just gonna take, excuse my hand reach, we're gonna take our shrimp and just place them ever so lovely all over our salad. And you want to have a really good one. Do this with some slightly wilted kale. That is really good as well. Our next salad is gonna have kale in it. Hint, hint, spoiler alert. And we're putting this all over. Look at that, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now, put that over to the side. We're gonna take our warm vinaigrette, which is still warm, and you're gonna, when you put it in your cup, you're gonna have to stir it around so that the oil that's in it isn't settling. So just stir it around a little bit, and then we're just gonna pour a little on top. Not a lot, just a little bit, because you can save this for another time. And I want some of those peppers. I mean, shallots. Let's make peppers. So I'm gonna put a couple of those on there. Isn't that lovely? And then I bought some balsamic glaze. Balsamic glaze is not really hard to make, but I just didn't have the time today. So I bought some, and we're just gonna glaze our salad with it. And I'm gonna top it with some black sesame seeds. And ta-da, let's eat. Alrighty, loves, there we have it. We made us a nice, wonderful, warm balsamic shrimp salad. If you try it, I promise you will absolutely love it. If you love shrimp or you love shellfish as a whole, this is a wonderful way to have it, just without having to fry it or something like that. And if you do like me, you go get some shrimp on sale. I got those big old huge prong things on sale. Usually what's going on with shrimp is the larger they are, the tougher they can get, and the larger they are, the easier it is for you to kind of lose flavor. So the trick is, after you peel it and clean it and devein it, you soak it in a little marinade for about 10 minutes. So it soaks up all of that flavor, those seasonings that you like we did in the video. See? Isn't that wonderful? You learn something new every day, don't you? So I really hope that you enjoyed this recipe and enjoyed this video. I'm so glad to be back in my kitchen sharing some of my favorite recipes with you guys. If you want to know how to get some of my signature seasonings, salad dressings, marinades, and sauces, the link to the website is down below in the description box. And of course, as always, there's going to be a shameless plug at the end of the video. So if you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you have not hit the subscribe button already, shame on you, because we're all family here. So you got to come and join the family, right? So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. If you want to have any questions or you just like to leave a couple of comments, do that. I try to respond to all of them. And share this video with someone that just may want to try a different recipe, a new recipe, or just want to look at my cute little face. Let me get the good side. Yes, I'm feeling it today. I'm really goofy today. I'm sorry. I've had some sleep. How about that? So thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. and allowing me into your lives for just a few minutes a day. I love you for it. God bless you. Wonderful things have been happening, and it's because of you and all of your support. And I thank you, and I appreciate you guys. So now, thank you again for stopping by. As always, guys, I love you, love you, love you. God bless you, and happy cooking.